welcome back. I'm Shreya Ajit, a third year MBBS student in Kerala. So today I want to talk to you about how I scored more than 80% in my first and second year university exams. So these are very individualized tips and you can modify it as per your requirement. The first thing is to have a flexible schedule. As we all know, there are numerous activities or assignments or record writing or deadlines that pop up suddenly, and our daily to-do list goes for a toss actually. So what we need to do is to have a flexible schedule, and what my version is that I try to plan my week. If I'm not able to do something on one day, I try to move the whole thing to another day. So that way, by the end of Saturday, if I still have something that I'm left to do, I do it on Sunday, because Sundays we are relatively free, right? So that is one point. My second thing is to have your version of active recall and spaced repetition. It is not simply that these two study techniques are shown to have the maximum results. So what I do is, for example, I plan a month out, and if I have for example 30 days, my first reading would take me 15 days, my second reading would take me 7 days, and my third reading would take me 5 days, something like that. So the first reading should always be the longest, because you need to give time to build your concepts, and it might happen that you take more time than required, and that is okay, because if you don't build your concepts correctly, there is no point of revising it again and again, right? Because your base is not firm. And spaced repetition and active recall works in this way. I also use flashcards, about which I'll talk in a later video. Next point is to find out what's the best part of each textbook. For example, in pathology, I used to follow Robbins, right? And what I noticed that they don't have very good drawable H&E diagrams, just like filled in Harsh Mohan. So what I do, I made a compilation of all those photos and diagrams from Harsh Mohan, and I used it after I read my Robbins properly, which helped me balance the best of both worlds. And then my next tip would be to build your practical knowledge onto your theory, because especially in subjects like anatomy, you learn only what you see, and dissection is such a golden opportunity. For example, for things like brachial plexus or about abdominal organs, once you see it, no, it is so much more difficult to forget it and much more easier to learn. So that's what I have noticed. So use your practical knowledge and always blend it with your theory. And I already touched upon it in my first thing. Make time for your first reading. I would say ki always when you're reading something for the first time, it should be at a time when your mind is relatively free of stress, and it should be the first thing that you're studying in the morning or in the evening, because that way you'll be more willing to learn and build all those concepts back into your head. My next point, which I feel like I've been practicing from school, is that if you have any record book, logbook which is like filled in CBME pattern, try to do it in your class break, so when you're free time and not when you're at home or when you're planning to study, because then you can use your active part of your brain for things that actually need it, and you can do these monotonous things in between breaks, and like try to not push it to the last moment, because then that particular day's schedule will be messed up. This is another interesting thing, and especially for subjects like physiology, it is good to have a side heading textbook, which is what I had. For example, so many hormones, they have a million functions, and if you miss something out, it is very clear in your paper. So what I did is, for example, if it's a function of each hormone and each system, I'd mention the system and the one key point that it does. And even though it seems tedious in the first, your end exam self will thank you for it, trust me. You can apply that to subjects like physiology, community medicine, pathology, anything that has a lot of side headings under it. Then you have to plan when you write a paper. Like if you don't have like particular time frames that you expect to finish a question, it is going to be very difficult for you to cover it all. So have a template. It can be flexible, of course. If you know something about one question more than the other, that can always be balanced here and there. But having a proper breakdown of how you really write your paper is super essential. Otherwise, you get really frantic at the time of the exam and you'll forget things that you actually know. So please take that into consideration. And now that the whole patterns are changing and MCQs are evolving more and more, so you can obviously have a flexible pattern. And my last thing, this actually my physiology faculty had told me at the start of year, told all of us, and I found that very interesting. Use the same pen throughout at least throughout the exams, because your muscle memory and your speed will drastically increase when you're using the same pen. And it is something that I did not give much thought to, but once I put into practice, which was actually super cool. And yeah, try that out as well. So these are my general tips. And one more thing, sorry, I forgot. Don't gatekeep your information. Always teach it to people. I feel like the person who's going to benefit the most after teaching is you, because you're able to bring the big chunks of information into crisp, small things to deliver it to someone who doesn't know the topic as such. So that would actually help you immensely. So yeah, that's all for today, and I'd like to make a detailed video about each subject and how to approach it and the specific tips I use for that. So if you did like the video, I'd really encourage you to subscribe, like, comment, and do all of the cool stuff. Okay, bye.